This episode of Destructoid is brought to you by Jack Threads. Coming up on Destructoid, Rockstar finally spills the beans about Grand Theft Auto 5. We get a much closer look at the Elder Scrolls Online, and that copy of X-Men Destiny we're thinking about trading in could be a valuable collector's item. Let us fill the inside of your brain with video game news right now on Destructoid Live.
Welcome to Destructoid. I'm Tara Long.
And I'm Max Scoville.
Happy Friday, Max Scoville.
Happy Friday, Tara Long.
How are you this lovely day?
I'm okay. Wearing a sweater, hanging out, you know.
Oh, that's a nice sweater.
Thanks, Tara.
Did you just say that to get me to compliment you?
A little bit.
Cheap
Did it work? I think it worked.
Yes, it did.
Tara likes my sweater.
So we have like tons of news today. I know I say that every day, but we have like a lot.
No, most of the time she's lying. We actually have pretty solid news today.
Yeah, GTA 5, man.
Yep,
That's
GTA 5. This video is going to have like 3,000
Just
views.
skip past this part right now.
Whole lot of views, yep.
Actually, we do have something cool to talk about first.
Yeah, let's talk about the Wizards and the Warriors first. One of the big things that happened this year at E3 was Bethesda's unveiling of the Elder Scrolls Online, which obviously is an MMORPG about the Elder Scrolls in the land of Tamriel and all that. Since then, they've been pretty quiet about the game, but yesterday they released a 10-minute trailer / dev diary where they showed some gameplay and then had some guys talking about the gameplay, and they kind of gave a quick rundown about what's so special about this game. The combat system seems Elder Scrolls-y enough. You use the mouse to aim, and then the left mouse button is for attacking, whether you're just clicking or holding it down to charge a power. Holding the right button will block, and there's also sprinting and crouching and sneaking. And that's kind of a change of pace from usual MMO combat, where it's press a key repeatedly until the bad guy is dead. There are also going to be massive PvP battles with hundreds of characters on screen at once. There's like 17 on screen there, maybe. I guess that's a few dozen.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's some guys. But as you might expect, the designs have been simplified a fair amount, so the game kind of looks, it's still pretty, but it looks a little bit more like WoW than it does like Skyrim. The quest system puts an emphasis on freedom that Elder Scrolls fans are used to. You can have multiple quests assigned at once, and you can sort of wander around and you can switch between your side quests. It's like you're in an Elder Scrolls game, so that's cool. In any case, if you're interested, this is a big chunk of 10-minute video, and there's lots of guys talking, and then there's other guys who are in armor who are in the game. So if you want to see that, that's over on ZeniMax Online Studios, the YouTube channel. I don't know how to feel about this. I feel like the whole point of the Elder Scrolls games is like you're getting lost in a magical world that's been so carefully rendered and is so far removed from reality because it's all like a different world. And if you put a bunch of asshole internet teenagers in there, it's all gone. I don't know. You guys aren't asshole internet teenagers. I like you guys, but what do you think?
Some of you probably are.
What do you feel about it? You're a wowster.
I'm not morally opposed to the idea of having Elder Scrolls be an MMO. I'm a little puzzled by all the footage that they've shown because half of it looks exactly like Skyrim and the other half looks like WoW. And the combat looks good enough, but again, it's kind of too soon to tell right now.
You kind of have to see it in action properly.
Yeah, I think so.
Are there going to be numbers flying out of everything? Is there going to be one of those hot bar things?
I hope not. God, I hope not.
Icky. I think there is going to be a hot bar, but anyway, go watch the video. Yeah.
Moving on, in case you needed any more proof that the future is indeed black, Activision has announced that they're partnering up with YouTube to allow anyone to live stream Black Ops 2 multiplayer matches straight from their console or PC. God help us all. Because the one thing YouTube needs is more Black Ops 2 videos. That's not a joke. I'm serious. The kids love them. So anyone with a PS3, Xbox, or PC is going to be able to live stream as they're playing. I believe there's like a 15-second lag or something. There's no accessories or peripherals you need to do this. Treyarch is also providing some really cool shoutcasting tools so people can provide commentary if they want over their footage, or they can hook up a USB webcam if they want to incur the wrath of cruel teenagers saying, "Show me your tits." We actually knew that this was happening a while ago, but we didn't know that they'd be partnering up with YouTube for it, which obviously has a wider accessibility range than some other video platforms. You'll also be able to watch live stream matches from any browser, any mobile device, or tablet, either on YouTube or through the Call of Duty Elite service. And actually, if you watch through Elite, you'll be able to watch the player card of the person streaming the match. So It's like you're really a part of something.
Yeah, and if they're a girl, then you can like message them and be like, yo, show me your tits.
No, don't do that.
Let me see your tits.
All right, well, anyway, I think the technology's cool. I just hope people don't overestimate their upload bandwidth because, you know, that could create some problems. Also, no live streaming between 3:30 and 4 p.m. Pacific on Fridays. That's our turf.
Well, I'm glad that Activision and YouTube are doing their part to promote literacy.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. So if you guys pay close enough attention to video game industry BS, you might recall Canadian studio Silicon Knights' legal battle with Epic Games for apparently sabotaging studios by releasing inferior versions of the Unreal 3 engine so that Gears of War 3 could do better. That was the thing that Silicon Knights said happened, but apparently it didn't. And that's why they lost the legal battle. Well, it's been revealed that Silicon Knights has been ordered to recall and destroy all unsold copies of its Unreal 3 coded games, specifically X-Men Destiny and 2 Human, as well as some games that were in the works that have got Unreal code in them, which according to this source include the unreleased project Sirens in the Maelstrom, oh boy, Crucible, The Evil Within, aka The Box, aka Ritualist. I swear I'm not making these up. These are actually the names of games they were working on, as well as an unannounced game called The Sandman, which could have been based on the Neil Gaiman comic. I don't know. That's speculation, but that would have been interesting. In any case, the retail copies of 2 Human and X-Men Destiny, Silicon Knights has to buy them back from the retailers and pay for shipping to their giant game furnace or whatever, and then they have to destroy them with their own dime, which... Well, here's some book burning footage because that's actually less depressing than X-Men Destiny footage. But hey, anyway,
this is really depressing.
Yeah, actually, it kind of is.
Couldn't they just give those to charity or something, like to Child's Play?
Well,
I mean, I guess those kids have cancer. They've got enough problems.
Here you go, sick kids. Play some poorly received games. But yeah, I mean, this is sad news. This is probably the end of Silicon Knights as a studio because they also did just have to pay $4 million in damages to Epic Games. So
that's what happens when you try to sue a big company.
Yeah, I would say this is sort of all around bad news bears. I mean, they might not be good games, but you know, a lot of people did actually like 2 Human. There's always that handful of people in the comments on any article about Silicon. They're like, hey, hold on now, 2 Human wasn't too bad. And what if they did Eternal Darkness too? In any case, it's just kind of shitty and wasteful to destroy a whole bunch of video games. And it's, you know, they're still video games, but now they're just like, well, let's make them into broken plastic with our hammers and our fire.
If they melt them, that's a health hazard.
Yeah, it is.
Do you want that on your hands?
Yeah. Well, in any case, if you want to own a tragic piece of video game history, go snag a copy of 2 Human or X-Men Destiny before Dennis Dyack pulls his rusty old pickup truck around the back of the GameStop and starts shoveling in his shameful games into the back to take them out back to and burn them.
And shoot them.
He's gonna go bury them in the New Mexico desert with all those copy of E.T. for Atari.
Oh, speaking of horrible, shameful products, if the harsh reviews weren't damning enough for Medal of Honor Warfighter, then perhaps a good old military scandal is in order. CBS reported yesterday that 7 members of the U.S. Navy SEALs, including one of the guys who was involved with the raid on Osama bin Laden and ended up killing him, well, they've now been disciplined for their involvement in Medal of Honor Warfighter. Yeah. They were hired as paid consultants by EA for 2 days earlier this year, during which time the military has now accused them of sharing classified materials given to them by the Navy and, quote, violating the unwritten code that SEALs are silent warriors who shun the spotlight. Some dramatic
balance
wordage.
Balls on their noses.
Yeah.
You can't be like, you broke the unwritten rules. Didn't you read the unwritten rules? They were written there.
They're unwritten there.
We wrote them in our ghost book.
So as punishment, all of the officers who participated in this now have received a punitive letter of reprimand, and half of a month's pay for 2 months has been forfeited. So that's 1 month's pay.
Yeah, and they have to say that month as one. They have to refer to it as like July.
2 months of 1/2 pay. Anyway, all the officers are still on active duty, so nothing too terrible happened to them, although 4 of the 7 have since been transferred to a different unit. I've got an idea for a video game, EA. You should listen to me. You should make one about those 7 Navy SEAL officers who were reprimanded for selling military secrets, except instead of secrets, they're nuclear bombs. And instead of getting their pay docked, they die a horrible death. But there's a twist. You want to hear the twist, don't you?
Go on,
I'll tell
Tara.
you the twist. The twist is that one of them actually is Osama bin Laden, meaning, stick with me here, only in death were they truly able to slay the beast, stop the war, and earn the coveted Medal of Honor. I call it Medal of Honor Warfighter.
I don't get it.
Really?
Was that a joke? Was it deep?
I call it Medal of Honor. United Assault.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
Battlefield 4 Beta, free inside. Let's take a word from our sponsor.
But first, a sip from my drink. And now a word from our sponsor. I believe it was the great philosopher Descartes who once said, "Only suckers pay full price." That sounds right. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't pay attention in class. Either way, the point still stands. If you want to look nice but don't have a ton of money to blow on clothes, then Jack Threads is the answer for you. Jack Threads is a top secret invite-only shopping club that takes the hassle out of buying clothes and actually saves you money in the process, up to 80% off. And it's not just weird, lame clothes that your Uncle Gary would wear. It's stuff like leather jackets, skater shoes, plaid button-ups, cool scarves, even holiday gifts for your friends and loved ones, Max? Tell them what holiday gifts they should get their friends and loved ones.
Well, let me tell you what I could get my weird, awesome skater Uncle Gary. What about a classy flask for his bourbons?
For the alcoholic in your life.
Or how about a decorative skull coin bank for his bourbon monies that he keeps in a creepy skull? Or how about this for Mom? It's a pencil sharpener shaped like a cat, and it meows when you stick pencils in its butt.
Ew.
I think it's funny. Anyway, normally there's a wait list to join Jack Threads, but we like you, so we will hook you up. So just head over to jackthreads.com/destruct, and you can skip the wait list and get access right now. Even better, you can sign up and then refer a friend to Jack Threads, and you will earn $10 shopping credit for every buyer you refer. It's like Pokemon. Anyway, the link is jackthreads.com/destruct. You gotta sign them all up and help our show.
No, don't draw that comparison.
Okay.
I will shoot you.
Yeah.
So back to the show. So obviously everything that we discuss in all of our episodes is equally important and
absolutely,
interesting.
yeah,
but
totally.
I mean, let's face it, the real news this week is GTA 5. Everything else is crap.
Yep.
You know what's not crap though? This 18-page cover story that Game Informer released yesterday all about GTA 5. We've been talking about this for weeks. It's finally out. Now, we already know that this game is going to be set in Los Santos, which is the fictionalized version of LA, but we didn't know the exact scale of the city until now. According to Rockstar, Los Santos is bigger than the worlds of GTA 4, San Andreas, and Red Dead Redemption combined, with plenty of places to explore, both urban and open. You're going to be able to take a trip to the beach if you want. You can visit a military base, hike up Mount Chiliad, which is the GTA version of Mount Diablo, and, wait for it, scuba diving.
Boom.
Yes, you can motherfucking scuba dive in GTA 5. Imagine all of the species of fish we will find, maybe even a swordfish.
I hope that there's a shark fish. Damn it, that's not a real kind of fish.
Sword shark.
Yeah, we like fish here, and
do
scuba
love
diving
fish.
is a good thing.
So obviously we already know that Rockstar is amazing at creating just massive open worlds with fantastic amounts of detail, and they're ramping that up even more for GTA 5 by completely rebuilding the gameplay mechanics from the ground up. So now instead of running through the campaign as just one guy, there are 3 main protagonists that you will play as, whom you'll be able to switch between at various points throughout the game. And of course, each character is going to have their own distinct personality and neighborhood and background and everything, but their lives eventually intertwine. And the idea is that by experiencing the story from 3 different perspectives, you not only have a strategic advantage because you know information before others do because you're everywhere all the time, but you can also avoid the boring parts that usually come along with open world games like this by switching over to another character that's maybe doing something a little bit more exciting, like, I don't know, scuba diving.
Looking at
Did
fish
we mention you
hanging
could do
out
that?
under the water, looking at all the different fish down there.
I'm so excited.
So excited. Pre-ordering it tomorrow.
I love reefs.
Yeah, as for the 3 main characters who will be scuba diving and looking at the fish under the water, there's Michael, who we might know as the narrator from the trailer. He kind of looks like Ray Liotta. He's a retired bank robber who's cut a cushy deal with the Witness Protection Program, and he lives in Rockford Hills in a big fancy house with his gold digger wife and his 2 bratty kids. And then there's Trevor, who's Michael's longtime friend, who's kind of his opposite. Trevor is he's a drug-addicted career criminal war veteran who lives out in the desert in Blaine County. To round out the trio, there's Franklin, the token black guy from South Central, who's in his late 20s. He's a repo man for a car dealership, and he's an aspiring hustler. And he kind of crosses paths with Michael, and he gets wound up in their plans to become a trio of crimesters. That's them right there. You see them? So anyway, each character has their own personality and set of skills, as well as 1 or 2 unique mini-games, which will presumably coincide with that character's hobbies. I wonder which one will like strip clubs the most. My bet's on Trevor. Anyway, confirmed leisure activities include yoga, triathlons, base jumping, jet skiing, tennis, scuba diving. Did we talk about the scuba diving,
No,
Tara?
I don't think
There is
so.
scuba diving in this game. And surprisingly enough, there's a full-fledged golf game, like 18 holes. They put a golf game in the game about the car stealing. Go figure. And Rockstar's really pushing for diverse mission types. There's going to be multi-tier heist missions, similar to GTA 4's Three-Leaf Clover mission, and that's going to happen early on in the narrative, where you can kind of swap between different characters, which is exciting. That's going to be a big theme in the game. A lot of the missions are going to involve more than one character, but rest assured there will still be solo missions as well. One thing that's interesting is GTA 5 uses the same dynamic mission system from Red Dead Redemption, so you can choose whether to participate in side quests or not. For example, if you see an armored, money cash van truck thing on the side of the street, you can attack it and get the money out of it.
You can also flip people off.
Yes.
And depending on what neighborhood you're in, they'll react differently.
Yeah, well,
so if you're in South Central, you're getting your ass beat.
Yeah. If you flip off soccer moms in Beverly Hills, they're
Yeah.
probably just going to gasp.
They're probably just gonna want to bone you or something.
And apparently the people in the environment will react differently to the different characters. So basically nobody likes Trevor because he's a crazy person.
That guy's weird.
But yeah, Rockstar's not talking about multiplayer yet. That's obviously going to be making a return, and that's going to be incorporating presumably the crew system for Max Payne 3.
Oh, yeah, they confirmed
talked
that.
about that. Yeah, that's exciting. So get in Max Payne 3 and get your crew together.
There's a Destructoid crew.
Yes, there is. Now, obviously, there's a ton of stuff we don't know yet. We are just seriously just skimming the surface of this month's Game Informer. There's so many things in this besides scuba diving. We really should talk about the scuba diving more.
We
I think this is
should.
pretty exciting. But go be a good sport and buy a copy of this the Game Informer, or download it from the internet onto your iPad or your Android device or whatever it is that the kids do with it. I don't even know how to read a magazine anymore. But yeah, don't forget we're getting a new Grand Theft Auto 5 trailer next Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. That'll be cool because we'll get to see some of these things in action.
It will be cool.
Now we have time for some Q&As.
Somebody said, Anthony Carboni, I love you.
Well, that's great.
I think you have the wrong show.
Yeah, go away. Come back later. Hold on. Do we have the,
Somebody asked, what about the PC pre-order for GTA 5?
I
I don't know if they're making a PC.
I haven't talked about that yet. So.
Terralong prediction incoming. I would
6 months after the regular one?
that it comes a good 3 to 6 months after the console launch.
3 to 6. I would say longer. It was a good while for the GTA 4 one.
Yeah. Well, Max Payne 3's PC version came, I think, less than a couple weeks after the console versions came out. And maybe it didn't sell that well compared to the console version. That makes sense.
Here's some, Ultimate Gamer 504 says, intersecting storylines, Resident Evil 6, anyone? Anyone?
No.
I don't know. I don't think that's...
This isn't like a you finish one dude's campaign and then you move on to the next, though. It's all happening at once. And it's part of that whole living, breathing world thing that they're trying to do, where there's always something going on no matter what.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's never stale.
Scuba diving. Wow, I will buy that game now.
People seem to be responding positively.
James
to
De
the
La
scuba.
Salle, I'm with you on that one. I am excited about the scuba diving. Let's see. Madrovich says, can you use the flamethrower while scuba diving? Do you think they're going to have a flamethrower in this? That's one thing, is ammunition stores are back, so you can buy guns because, Liberty City, they've got tight gun laws, but this is LA, so it's the craziness.
Notaku PK said, for some reason I hoped there would be a female character playable because of the multiple protagonists. You and I both, Notaku PK.
Yeah. Huh.
But then I shudder to think of what would happen to a female character in GTA 5, and then I think, it's not such a bad thing that we're not in there.
Let's see. Spider says the size of GTA is impressive only if there's content on the map, or am I wrong? I'm with you on that. I think there was definitely that, that's one problem I had with Red Dead Redemption, is there's just, you spend so much time just kind of wandering around. If it's urban, it's more interesting, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I can see how it might look like there's a lot going on, but in fact they're just giant set pieces and you can't actually interact with them. I don't think that's going to be the case here.
Yeah.
I mean, they talked a lot in the Game Informer article about all the detail that they put into the city and how you can go into a store and find all these little food items and stuff, each with its own unique branding and stuff.
You can go into the store and look at the tiles, and some of the tiles will be more worn down than others.
It's weird, things that you don't even think about when you're playing a video game.
I'm excited about this. I will say I'm kind of the three character thing. I think that if they pull it off, and I have faith that they can do that.
I do too. I absolutely do.
They don't really make bad games, you know.
Technically, their games are. I was really impressed with how they did Max Payne 3 and the whole seamless transition between cutscene and gameplay. Like, I think that's gonna.
Yeah, they've stressed that a
go
lot.
A long way in
if
GTA
there's a
also.
forklift mission in this, though, I'm just gone. I'm just done. I'm putting it down and walking away. Sorry, no more forklifts, Rockstar. No, thank you.
That's our terms of agreement.
Scuba diving. That's what I want.
So that is about all the time that we have for today's show. I hope you enjoyed all the GTA 5 news that we had. There are a couple things, actually, that we should announce.
Exciting things.
We just put a video up on Rev3 Games. What's the video that we put up, Max?
It's Casual Friday. We talked about launch titles for video game systems that they put out games with.
In the past. We talked about our feelings on past launches.
In lieu of the Wii U and its
favorite launch titles and such. Also, we've got kind of a huge announcement that's coming next week on Rev3 Games. We're not going to tell you what it is now, but it's pretty big.
We're getting a dog.
You're probably going to shit your pants.
Yep. The dog's probably going to shit on the carpet, too.
Don't spoil it, Max.
It's a Rottweiler. We got it from the pound. It's got
Just shut your mouth. Just shut
2
your
legs.
mouth. We're going to be back here on Monday, but in the meantime, you can find us over on Twitter. I am Tara Longest. He is Max Scoville, and the show is Detoid Show on there. We've got almost 7,000 followers on the Detoid Show account, so you guys should go double that or something.
Yeah. I don't know why I just said hello. That was a weird thing to say.
Right.
I meant to say, don't do crimes
in
real life.
Good advice for everyone.
Go in the video game to do the crimes.
We'll see you on Monday.